Entries, entries, entries. How do we appropriately come into the handstand? Now, at this point, you should be able to enter and exit with the wall. If we can't yet enter and exit with the wall, my recommendation generally is to go back there and get more efficient at both those things. Once we're good at those, then we can progress things on and start to practice the handstand entry and exit away from the wall. So, we're in a position in which we're able to do those things absolutely fine, and we're not plagued by fear when we kick up away from the wall. Now, it's important to note there is no right or wrong way necessarily when learning to kick up. There are some cues that I would recommend and some ways to approach the kick up that I generally advise. However, there is also some flexibility within that. Now, generally with the kick up, this is how I like to look at things. If we can, and the same with skill acquisition in general, if we can reduce the variables as much as possible, better. I want to be able to focus on 1, 2, or perhaps 3 things, not 15. If I have 15 things to focus on, I'm overcomplicating things and I'm making my life considerably harder, if not impossible. And so we want to strip back the bullshit and focus on the 3 max most important things. What does that mean in practice? It means ideally we set up in a position which is as close to the position of the handstand as possible. And so if I start here, okay, I have to come down to the floor, put my hands on the floor, get my shoulders over my hands, get my hip over my shoulders, and you can see there's already there quite a few different steps to getting into position. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our hands on the floor already. We're starting with the hands on the floor already, and we're going to start with the shoulders over the hands. Remember, priority number 1, position of the shoulder. Priority number 2, push of the shoulder. So we're going to start now increasing that resistance from the floor. I don't start here and then think about push. Okay, I want to start already resisting the floor before I've even taken my feet off the ground. And so, step 1, hands on the floor, eyes in between the hands. Please, God, we're not looking backwards. Okay, we're not doing this. We take the eyes away as an advanced drill in this practice, but for God's sake, as a beginner, we want the eyes to be in between the hands. Okay, again, which point exactly will vary. There is no, it needs to be here, but generally we recommend somewhere in this zone, okay, locked. Try not to have the eyes moving around. The head follows the eyes and the shoulders follow the head. And so the more you look around, the more likely you are to move things that we don't want to move. So, we'll get there. Hands on the floor, shoulders over the hands, pushing. Now, this leg often people use to fling up. Now, whilst it gives momentum, what it also means is that to find balance, that momentum then has to be slowed. Action, reaction. And so if we use the momentum of that top leg, I then have to have the capacity to slam on my brakes, i.e. my fingers, to hold me in balance. It is an option. My preferred option is instead to use the bottom leg, a smooth and slow jump from the bottom leg to bring the hip into position. Generally means we don't have to slam on the brakes quite so hard. How does that look in practice? So shoulders in position, I'm pushing, this knee bends, okay, and up we go. From here then, I can think about changing the position if I'm at that stage yet. But what that jump does is it just gives us a bit more opportunity. It slows things down. It slows things down compared to throwing the legs up fast. Now, it's not to say that some people don't learn that way, and it's not to say that way is absolutely useless. It's not. But on examination, in my opinion, it's very easy to go too fast and come out of the handstand. It's very difficult to go too slow. As long as you get the hip into position, going slow means you're in control and you don't have to then correct so hard. Hands in position, push, jumping, and we're here. Okay, I can go slightly faster. But I'm focusing on those points. Hand in position, shoulder in position, I'm pushing already, and then it's about finding that sweet spot of if I jump too much, my hip goes over. If I don't jump enough, it doesn't quite get there. And that's a process that when you learn, you go through. You're not going to get it right at first. It's a process of getting better gradually and progressively over time. And so those are the main points. Take that away, implement it, and good luck.